Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Chief, every time I raise questions about forests, I usually get skeptical looks around here like, are there trees in Oklahoma? But there really are, and we really do have forests. Yeah, I know I'm going to have to bring back visual proof at some point. But I actually have a series of questions, and they relate to a very specific institution in my district. And so you might not be able to answer these, and they're not gotcha questions. It may be best to submit them for the record, but I want to go through it if I may. Again, much to the surprise, I think probably a number of people on this committee, Forest Service operates a number of Job Corps centers, essentially as a contractor working for the Department of Labor. And I'm sure you're aware, DOL is in the process of closing Treasure Lake Job Corps Center, which is run by the Forest Service, actually located in the Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge in my district. And it strikes me as unusual because it's the only Job Corps center any place in America out of the 165 that are being closed. So I'll have a series of questions for my friends at Department of Labor. But just, has the Department of Labor been open and transparent with the Forest Service during the closure process?
Yes, they have. We've worked very closely with Department of Labor on this, and with the need to reduce budgets for the Job Corps centers, we had to work together to identify which ones should be considered for closing. And so through negotiations, we got down to closing one that happened to have the lowest level of performance. And we've worked there at that Job Corps Center to try and improve that in performance. But when there's always going to be one that's going to be the lowest. And so when you look at having to make a tough decision about closing a center, it just kind of comes out to be the math that this one has the lowest score.
Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not skeptical, and I know these are tough decisions for all of you to make. And but I just want to take a long, hard look when there is only one. Second question, did the Department of Labor provide the employees at Treasure Lake with adequate notice and due process as part of the closing?
Well, those are our employees. Those are Forest Service employees, and so we've worked to be able to notify our employees and try to find another opportunity for them, and hopefully that most of our employees will be able to move to another Job Corps center. We have enough vacancies in the system to take care of them. However, there'll be some that for a variety of reasons cannot move, and we expect that those folks will need to leave our employment.
And now that the students have actually been transferred from the site, as I understand it, how many employees remain? And I assume you're responsible for the salaries, or is Department of Labor? I mean, how's that work?
Well, we're working that out. The Department of Labor funding for the Job Corps program, as long as the center's open and has students, then their appropriations cover that. As soon as the students are gone, then it's a question. And so we're trying to get it closed down just as quickly as we can, and have a few employees there to take care of just the maintenance of the facility. But we're working very closely with the Department of Labor so that we can move our employees to another center as quick as we can and just avoid this problem.
With the facility being closed down, what are the costs of, if any, well, there'll be costs. Do you raise the site? Do you task the site for other purposes? What are the opportunities of using it, or do we literally restore the land to its original condition?
Well, I'll have to get back to you on that one. This site is actually under the authority of the Fish and Wildlife Service. So when we move our employees off of it, we need to hand it back to them, and we'll have to get back to you on that next step.
I would appreciate that, and if there are any considerations for use for another capacity. There's obviously military post in the immediate vicinity. There's a large veterans population. It just would be a shame to lose the facility itself. Again, if there's any other appropriate use for it. So would appreciate a response back. With that, let me turn next to my good friend from Maine, Miss Pingree.